Hi, today I'm joined by Chadwick from Chadwick Architects, and we've presented together and we've got mutual clients together, so it's a real privilege to have Michael joining me today to share some of his ideas about selecting property and maximising your chances of building a cost-effective extension or renovation. Thanks for coming along, and thanks for the bickies, they're lovely.
You're welcome.
When we were presenting together last, I chatted about selecting the right floor plan for a property when you've got renovation in mind. And when I say the right floor plan, I'm really cognizant of how many walls need to be moved, whether wet areas need to be relocated, potentially how expensive an open plan living extension could become. And that is all determined by the layout of the property and also the orientation. And obviously you've got other things that I don't profess to be skilled up on, such as council planning issues and streetscape and all of those things that Michael's across. So I've invited him in today to share his ideas about why selecting the right floor plan is so critical.
Thank you, Kate. Well, I think there's so many great older properties out there that they instantly scream out for renovation and improvement, and you can see it on the floor plan. Quite often you'll have a circulation space with bedrooms at the front of the house, and in older properties you have quite often the bathroom or the kitchen sort of blocking the view out to the garden at the rear, and just by opening up those spaces, separating private and public spaces, perhaps by putting in your laundry and your wet areas in between them. It's a great way to create a great flow through the house.
You must get excited when you see those floor plans, like a little skinny Victorian with bedroom, bathroom,
Yeah.
and then open plan, and it just needs a more modest renovation rather than seeing those lean-tos at the back. As you said, they block off the garden space. So how do you approach something when a client is saying to you, I've got a couple of options, and which do you think is more viable? How would you look at it through the eyes of an architect?
Yeah, so I'll ask them, what are they hoping to achieve to start with? Is it a family home? How many bedrooms do they need? All that sort of thing. That's really important to get that out and find out what they're looking for to start with. I look at the orientation, what the block shape and size is, and that can influence the way that I might open out to the back garden. You know, if I'm facing north through a big glass door or something like that, terrific. And also what the budget is. There might be a way that we could work with an existing floor plan if a bathroom's okay in an area but not perfect, but they've only a certain budget. Hey, we can work to that as well.
Yeah, and do you ever talk to people about a two-stage renovation where they spend a little bit of money to get it comfortable for now with the view to do something quite massive down the track?
Yeah, quite often that's the case, and staging things is a great way to get your final goal. Figure out what you really want later on, but just do it in a couple of stages.
Yeah, I love this thought, and your example when we presented most recently was about your very own home, and I thought that was great because you've got a small family and you're also cognizant of where you are. You're in the inner west and you're able to respond to something that would be very popular for mainstream buyers, but you've also got the opportunity to make it quite large and suit your growing family needs if you want to.
Yeah, we did a stage thing, so we decided not to. You can imagine my first sketch was just fill in the page. It was a bit too much, but we honed it back. We figured out what we were comfortable to invest to start with, and like the first stage, we've got a really comfortable space, but there's also the ability to add some additional living spaces if we needed to down the line.
I think that's one of the most valuable tips you could have shared today, and the fact that you could think about a two-stage process. Other people really do need to consider whether they need that gigantic big family renovation right now, or whether they can adopt an approach like this and do something else with the money for the meantime. See you next time.